throat because of how cold and dry the air has been this week. So it only happens in the morning, which means, when I'm out here. So I don't know why, but like I said, um, yeah, the moronicy, idiocy, and complete imbecility of this situation continues. I almost went into my full blown redneck accent. That's right, and redneck is not a racial slur. Get over it, people. That's like saying hillbilly is a racial slur. Ask anybody in the past the first couple generations past in my family, and they'll say they're proud to be a damn hillbilly or a redneck. So if not, then Jeff Foxworthy's been making a living off racial slurs using redneck jokes. But yeah, I knew society was in trouble when they were kicking people out of chat rooms on an online game called Tribes, and look it up, it's ancient, for using the term redneck, and they were calling it a racial slur. Now they're still doing it today, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. But redneck has nothing to do with other than, shall we say, I'll get into it some other time. Let's get back into the subject matter before I really go off the rail. Uh, Now the story is, since the BBC did not state anything about Ncuti Gatwa, the BBC came out and vehemently denied any talks of shelving Doctor Who. But they didn't mention Ncuti Gatwa's status, so now the big tagline, the big headline is, one I saw this morning, literally I was getting ready to go to work, basically that Ncuti has cut and run. He quit. That's the new one. He got quit, or the other one is he was fired. And I'm sitting here going, based off, waiting for the evidence. As a guy who, I've listened to so many true crime scenarios and stuff like that, and various conspiracies and things like that. One of the things they say is trust but verify. The CIA claim they invented it, the KGB claim they invented it. Some people claim Ronald Reagan invented it, but it's a very wise 3 words to remember. Trust but verify. There's no verification whatsoever. There's not been one press statement stating that Ncuti Gatwa has quit, Ncuti Gatwa is fired, or Ncuti Gatwa, cut and run because the show's getting shelved. There's not 1 inch of legitimate ink that backs this story. Yet you've got the online armchair idiots already out there stamping around, waving their flags in the air. I wonder what flag they wave. More on that later. There's been too much flag waving lately. You notice that? Flag waving leads to saber rattling, and then, oh well. Yeah, that's what I mean. It's like I've fallen for this nonsense before, but this is back when my own sources were being fooled. But there's not one legitimate, even squawk of a rumor that backs this story. There's only one thing and that is Doctor Filming Locations says that he has seen or heard about reshoots going on. And look, while that could be something, I'm not going to deny it because, he's a little bit closer to the loop than I ever will be. But at the same time, reshoots could mean anything. Could just mean they changed the scene, or they needed some more background stuff or something along that line. So until I see it on air, I'm not going to go, well, there goes Ncuti. And I wouldn't blame Ncuti because, can you blame him, for being in the shooting gallery? Because that's what it's literally become. Let's say Ncuti did quit. I would not blame him. Not one iota. Look at how much appreciation actors get now for keeping this show alive and taking on the role. As I told you yesterday, somebody walked up to David Tennant and just outright said, well, Jodie Whittaker sucked. And I loved, David's reply, then if you hate one of us, you hate all of us. Huh? So, Yeah, they're claiming, yeah, that's the other claim that there's no legitimate source for. I'm not kidding. Please tell me people aren't still getting info from Gallifrey Base and holding it up as canon valid or even having the slightest bit, of a chance of being true. Because there was a time there on Gallifrey Base when you had a handful of people who did know what they were talking about, and that time was long past. And I used to get stuff passed from there all the time. Like I said, I can literally take, I did log into Gallifrey Base. I do have an ID there, but I've used it. I can literally count on my hand and have fingers to spare how many times I've used it in the last decade. Because the last couple times I checked up on there, it's just pure, utter nonsense. But yeah, if you can't tell, I got lucky today and there was a space already opened up, so I took it. But it just disturbs me, the way we treat actors and all that now, on the show. They're doing a job. If you don't like the way things are going, you can blame the showrunner, which is what a lot of people do anyway, even though I don't really see all the evil menace, that RTD's created. One of the great things of a sci-fi show is whether you agree with a view or not. One of the reasons why Star Trek is timeless is because they took things that were going on in the modern world and projected them into that futuristic sci-fi setting. As how would they deal with this? And that's what Doctor Who's done. And I think they did go overboard on a few things. But like I said, it's not my opinion, but I'm not going to belittle them for it. So, oh gosh, man, do aliens poop? Watch Resident Alien. He answers that right there. Everybody poops. Of course we poop. Everything poops. And if you're not watching that Series 4 is coming this year. 1 through 3 is now up on Netflix. I heavily recommend that series. It is hilarious. Alan Tudyk is incredible. Also, there's a few names that pop up here and there that you're going to recognize. Screw it, I'm just going to say it. I'm not going to tell you what characters they play, but Nathan Fillion makes an appearance, in a way. And Linda Hamilton. Just a few other names. And like I said, I'm not telling you when they show up, how they show up. I'm just saying, keep an eye out for them. Watch that show. It is hilarious. Yeah, that's another thing. Look at how long it's taken them to get another series of Peacemaker up, which was a freaking hit. Series 1 was a smash bomb hit. Yeah, it's been going on, 2 years now or more? Because of damn politics and stuff, and also streaming politics. First they were going to do this, they were going to do this, then that movie bombed. Then they were going to do that Waller series, and I'm like, guys, people don't give a flying Rudy Tooty rat's ass about what's her name. They want more Peacemaker. They want that cast. Just put that on, dumbasses. It's like, you think James Gunn would know this, given, the guy has put out some really good shit. Oh, thank you. Yeah, 3 years. And Wednesday. Freaking hit. But no, what's her name wants to go off do movies. And you see, that's another problem with streaming TV series. Used to be when, like I said, in a way it's good, but in a way it's bad. It's good for the actor because they can go off and do other things. But the problem is when them other things tie them up, now your series is on hold. Like Wednesday. Well, I'm going to go off and do some movies. Okay, we'll just wait. And a lot of people just don't realize that the big major thing about television in any form, out of sight, out of mind. People, if it doesn't show up within a certain amount of time, people's brains are going to say, well, that got canceled, and then they're not even going to look for it. I know, it's stupid and silly. Heck, look at Stranger Things. Millie's now married, doing naughty pictures for Vogue, and well, I call them naughty because I'm sorry, there's no way a girl who just is coming out of her teen should be dressed like that on the cover of a magazine or in a photo article. But yeah, already married. It's like, meanwhile, back in the day, they're like, well, we better hurry up and finish this thing because we can't keep strapping them down on Millie Bobby Brown. Um, okay, yeah, I was never a big fan of ER or anything, but I did hear about the Pit and being a spinoff of it. So the problem is when you refer to the Pit, I think Fallout, because the Pit was what they called Pittsburgh in that universe. So, and yes, you do. There is a DLC for Fallout 3, and you can also go to the Pit in Fallout 76. Like I said, it's not my thing. I was never a major fan of ER. I loved House. House rocked. But okay. I died laughing because my wife mentioned something about, Lady G, she mentioned something about a series called Watson, and I'm like, really? She goes, yeah, it's a couple of doctors, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, God, a house was basically Sherlock Holmes in a hospital. I want you to think about this because that's what they were going for. Instead of Sherlock Holmes, you had Gregory House. Instead of James Watson, I think it was James, you have James Wilson. I know because I was a big fan of that series and I read a lot about it. I still die laughing at the fact they thought, when Hugh Laurie sent his audition tape in, they were looking for an American actor. And they played it, and then at the end of the audition, I think Bryan Singer and the other guys are all wowed out their ass. They're like, damn, that's so good. Like, who is this guy? He's British. Huh? So he ended up getting the job just based off his audition tape. And the whole gruff look was accidental because he was on holiday, I think it was, and he hadn't shaved in a few days, but they liked it so much for the character, they kept it. All right, but that's a whole nother series. That's a whole nother topic. So yeah, they're saying that Shooty has now quit, and once again, they have no legitimate source for this. Even the drunkard, I think, had a big video on how Shooty's been fired or quit one, and I'm like, why do people take these ass nozzles so seriously? I don't get it. It's like they don't, half the time they don't know what the hell they're talking about. It's like me, I do a lot of reading on this stuff, and also you have to really, after doing this for a few years, it's like you begin to realize the mistakes you've made and all that, and it's like, and then you go, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that because we don't have anything on it. I think after Chaos in Cardiff, I took a major lesson. So, oh, trust me, I'm dreading the Little House on the Prairie reboot on Netflix. They're going to turn it into imagine if they turned it into some wild cross, like with Game of Thrones style Little House on the Prairie. Little did anyone know what Laura Ingalls was really doing. Yeah, they'll portray her as like a 19-year-old teenager instead of the younger she was, and blah blah blah. And oh gosh, I don't even want to go into that. As long as they don't catch her with the livestock, that would just be too freaky, even for Netflix. But that's not what you're supposed to be doing with that donkey, Laura. I know that's the problem, though. Something comes up a hit, then everybody has to hop on it. Like, there are things that are set in post-apocalyptic that I would love to see done, because of Fallout being such a hit series. Because there's so many good ideas out there that take place in post-apocalyptic settings. And for one, I wish they would make R.R. Haywood's The Undead series into a mini-series. Movie, no, you'd have to mini-series it because of the way it does. And plus, it captures post-apocalypse. It has the zombie genre mixed in a bit. And it's, like I said, it's just wacky as hell. There's good drama. There's good comedy. The character development's astounding. But if you've not read that series by R.R. Haywood, The Undead, I highly recommend it. Remember, the R.R. Haywood version, because there's another one out there called The Undead. It has nothing to do with it. I just stumbled onto it by accident. Yeah, there's allegedly going to be Series 2 news coming up, and this coming issue, what's an issue? I'm going to have to use that word for something else, issue. All right, this coming issue of Doctor Who magazine. So, we'll have to see. Well, I just looked at the time. I got to get running. Be kind, be calm, safe, enjoy the rest of your day. As far as I know, we will be here tomorrow. There's been no talk about cancellation on Saturday. So if I hear any more, we'll talk to you all tomorrow morning. So enjoy the rest of your day. The rest of you lazy bastards, enjoy your weekend, because I won't. I'll be at work tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Have a good one.